Hello, everybody. The reason why love is a choice. Love is a choice because it's best to select somebody who has the traits you want in a person, or at least that you're moderately attracted to, or just attracted to, and select that type of person. You don't know. See, movies, they always get it wrong. They always make it seem like you're supposed to have all these genuine, amazing feelings at first. And you know what? That actually is possible too. But that's not the only way to have love in your life. There's many ways to get there. And I mean, you could have it that way, but if you don't have it that way, that doesn't mean it's over and just give up on the person. There's also other ways to get there. And one of the other ways to get there is just, yeah, like I said, select a person who has the traits you want, or who you're at least moderately attracted to, or kind of attracted to, or just attracted to. But even if you're just somewhat interested, that is enough. And that is the foundation. And from there, you build the house that is your relationship. But that takes time and effort. And as long as both parties are invested, then you can build it into something over time. And through the experiences, emotional connections, and all the times y'all spend together, and as y'all bond on a deeper level, and sometimes even get serious conversations, over time that will build on itself. And the most important thing is that both people are invested. As long as both people show up for each other, no matter what, no matter how they feel, that's when love is a choice. You choose to love each other. You choose to love the other person. When the most immature people, they depend on the feeling to motivate them to show up. It's a big mistake. It's kind of like working out. You're not always going to feel like it, but you decide to do it because it's good for you. Love is the same thing. And the best things in life tend to be delayed gratification. So if you can just delay the gratification and decide to show up, so long as the person possesses some qualities that you want, at least on some level, that's where discipline comes in. You mentally select, or even through feelings. But if the feeling isn't there, you can mentally select, okay, I like this person because I like this traits and I like that. Oh, they're good to me. Maybe that girl cooks for me and she's loyal and she's honest and she's trustworthy. She invests in me. Those kind of traits are always the good thing. Or she's attractive but has a good character with it, but you may not love her. As long as you choose the girl who chooses you, or choose the guy who chooses you, and both parties are willing to invest in each other, then you could choose to love each other. And you could even start saying, I love you, to the person at some point and not even feel it. But if you keep saying it over time to the other person, and they say it back to you as you bond and spend time together and get to know each other more and get more intimate, then over time you will find that you will actually fall in love with them. That actually happened to me once when I had a high school sweetheart. She was into me. She had a crush on me for about 5 years. I remember. I'm not going to say her name, but in case she sees this video, but she had a crush on me for 5 years, and I just decided to get with her because I didn't have a girlfriend, and I was like, screw it, She was attractive, but I just wasn't into her. I wasn't feeling her, and so I got with her, and we were together almost 3 years, and it was actually 2 years and 10 months, but the whole relationship that we were together, I would say about 2.5 years that I was with her, I wasn't in love with her at all. But I just chose out of a decision because she was there for me. She was good to me. She nurtured me. She was invested in me. She was always available. No games, no bullshit. So I just decided, okay, I'm just going to stay with her. And I just showed up with her, spent time with her, talked on the phone with her, went out, did everything, met her parents, of course, and everything like that. And over time, it just slowly, little by little, we started just bonding and bonding and bonding. And then one day, like towards the end of the relationship, we had, a big, thing went wrong and we broke up. And then that is when I realized, oh shit, I love this girl now. And that's where that phrase comes from, that you don't know what you have until it's gone. And that's kind of how this works. When you don't really realize it's love until you lose them, and then when somebody's invested in you and you're invested in them, you just keep showing up for each other. That's when you realize that you did love them all along. And, usually it helps that somebody chooses you and loves you. But if you're not in that position, as long as they possess traits that are good in a person or in a relationship, just choose them too, and delay that gratification. And over time, you will find that it will build as long as you're invested, and as long as you say I love you to them. Over time, it will become habitual, and then your mind will kind of gravitate to you loving them. It's weird because I did that. I would just say I love you to her and I didn't even mean it, but I just said it, and over time, our experiences and our bonds just made it turn into something. It's weird how that works too. And then it's just, don't underestimate life and its surprises. And the best things in life tend to be delayed gratification and come from delayed gratification. Sometimes love can be instant, but if it's not, it can also come as a surprise. But just, you have to be willing to invest. Love is a choice. You choose to love somebody, given that the traits are there, or at least, there's some form of attraction on some level. That is the foundation. And it even works with friendships. You know, I had a friend, you know, matter of fact, I've lost, as I've gotten older, I lost all my friends, many friends over time, just, you know, drift apart. But there's one friend who was always there. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's always been there. To this day, he's still there. And I've been friends with him for at least 23 years maybe now. And he's like the only friend I have left. It's kind of the same thing with friendships. You know, he chose me as a friend, and I didn't really want to hang out with him because we didn't really have anything in common for a long time. And for many years, I was just like, why is this, you know, I didn't feel like hanging out with him, you know, I just didn't, but I just did anyway. I showed up. And, you know, over time, the same thing. You just bond, you go through experiences together. And then before you know it, one day I'm like, this guy's my best friend. Like, who would have thought, you know? Like, it just kind of happens out of the blue. You don't see it coming. And it's one of those things, it's not love-like, but you choose friendships. You know, those who invest in you, you can invest in them, and then that investment is what creates the friendship, or in a relationship creates the love. So love is a choice, and the movies, they tend to romanticize it and get it all twisted. You know, I mean, it could happen like that, don't get me wrong. I've actually experienced that too, so it's real, definitely. But if it doesn't happen like that, it doesn't mean it won't happen with that same person that you're with, whoever that is. So don't underestimate the many ways that love can form. Like, if you ever played the game The Last of Us Part 1, the first one, it's kind of similar to like Joel and Ellie. Joel was like a father figure to Ellie. At first, he couldn't stand the kid. And then he was like, oh, bringing her along with me and all that. And then they go through all these experiences together. And it's those experiences that make you bond. And then those emotional moments that just make people grow together. Then love is built. And they didn't even know it until they're about to lose them. And then they realize they love them. It's the same thing. It works in many forms of relationships, love in many levels, father, daughter, you know, family, friends, relationships, all that stuff. But it's the immature people who refuse to invest that never really truly find the love. They never really get it because they didn't have the discipline or the patience to show up anyway and invest despite the lack of feelings. You know, you just have to depend on the qualities and traits in a person and use that as I don't want to say fuel, but use that as a reason to show up, to invest in the person. And then one day you will find that as long as you show up and invest with discipline and say I love you to them over time, given that they have the traits and all that, you will find that you can, and just build a relationship through communication, experiences and all that, and investment, you'll find that one day you'll love them. And that's how it is. Love is a choice. And I know this based on experience. I've experienced very deep relationships, friendships and all that. So yeah, I recommend, if anyone has never had love in their life, choose to love somebody. Choose, like, if they're investing in you and, you know, they're moderately, you know, you're moderately kind of interested in them, use that as the foundation and build off of that. And then and what's funny is that as you're growing together, the person will change, you know, so they'll become more like you, and you'll become more like them, and your characters will merge, and then suddenly they'll start to look different after a while. And it's kind of weird. I've seen that happen where over the years as y'all spend together, y'all tend to become each other, and y'all's personalities merge, and it changes each other's appearance, and it's just weird. I don't know. You just have to invest and let life surprise you. That's kind of how it is. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. Love is a choice. So if this video was any help to you, please like and subscribe. Thank you.